Hello, friends, and welcome to our introduction to meditation. This is level 3, and I am thrilled to be here. I'm sorry, I'm doing a little bit of technical things here. Okay, I'm in good shape now. My name is Venerable Tarpa. Just thrilled to be here. Boy, have I been having fun in this program. Today begins the 5th and final week of our 5-week meditation program. And boy, did it go fast. I want to congratulate everybody for completing the program and hope you've enjoyed it and found it beneficial. Today, in our last week of practice, everything we've learned in this program is going to come together in the peak of all meditation techniques, a practice called union meditation, which is the union of calm abiding and insight meditation. We're also going to summarize and evaluate what we've learned and talk about where our practice goes from here. But first, let's, like always, review a little bit of what we learned in our last class. In last week's class, we learned the meditation technique of radiating awareness, a practice for achieving the peak level of calm abiding and the experience of presence and stillness. We explained presence and stillness as the stilling of the mind and emotions and the lessening of reactivity, a shift in perception that recognizes the peace and space that underlies our daily reality. We learned that stillness is real and can be perceived and felt. However, because of our mental busyness, we're rarely aware of it. We also learned how radiating awareness is an amazing technique for our mindfulness practice as well, which I hope you were able to experiment with this week. It's one of my very favorite practices for mindfulness. Does anybody have any questions about last week's program or practice? How was your practice of radiating awareness, everybody? Did all your family members have to buy sunglasses to put up with it all? David, do you have a question, comment?
Yeah, that was the first time after 2.5 years that I kind of got the radiating awareness thing. So I'm very grateful.
Oh, that makes me happy. It's an extraordinary practice, huh? So I'm guessing that means that you had a little taste of presence and stillness. Outstanding. Miss Tasha?
Well, even though I do this often, sometimes I still tense up like I'm having to force it. And then I relax into it, but I still initially have that, like I'm exerting myself to do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that. I think a lot of people go through it. And then at one point, for myself, I realized that when I relax, I actually radiate awareness better. Like we want to, and we have that instruction, right? Now begin to push your awareness. But then at some point, you relax into the practice and just let it flow. That's when it really opens up, right? The letting go actually makes it really become kind of natural and intuitive. So with practice, it gets better and better. It's an advanced practice, so don't think that we're all going to master it in just a week. Yeah, outstanding. How about this idea of presence and stillness? Did anybody feel like they had a little glimpse of it or a little taste of it? Oh, we got some thumbs up. Do you feel your experience of awareness, your power of awareness, increasing more? Are we developing it even more? I think radiating awareness is a really different type of experience of awareness, right? It's this full. Before we were kind of using our awareness and moving it around, but this is full mind-body awareness, right? Awareness of our whole being at one time, right? Quite extraordinary. Oh, very cool. Okay, everybody, how about we begin today's class? And like always, let's begin by looking at the textbook presentation of union meditation, which is the union of calm abiding and insight meditation. Often there's confusion about the actual difference between these two forms of meditation. Clearly, the two have much in common, with a lot of overlap, with both being practiced. They're both practices that utilize mindfulness to stabilize and develop the mind. Calm abiding is a passive meditation in which we work to still the mind, whereas insight meditation is an active meditation in which we actively work to gain insight and understanding. Here in union meditation, we combine both practices, which can be understood as the union of the observing mind and the doing mind. You may not be aware that we've actually been engaging in this from the first insight meditation class, in which we work to maintain the feeling of our meditation while at the same time turning our mind to our topic of insight meditation. However, here in union meditation, we're going to engage with it at a much deeper and more conscious level. We've mentioned previously how our minds can only focus on one concept or idea at a time. So then the question arises, well, how can we engage in two different meditation techniques simultaneously? And the answer is, by engaging in calm abiding as a felt sensation, which requires very little mental attention, we then free our focused attention for our insight meditation. Within the actual practice, we begin by focusing our awareness on the feeling of our radiating awareness, maintaining it purely as a feeling, and then once stable, we can then introduce our object of contemplation to begin our insight meditation. With practice, we can learn to make both meditations arise naturally and simultaneously in a continuous, inseparable union, which is the peak of all meditation practices. When first learning this meditation, their union may be difficult to achieve. Therefore, when introducing our object of insight meditation, if your feeling of radiating awareness fades, you simply return your attention back to the radiating awareness, and once stable, you can then return to your insight meditation topic. And it's through this periodic alternating of the two meditation techniques that you eventually attain and sustain that union. Union meditation comes alive when we become fascinated or gain an epiphany about our topic of contemplation, at which point the mind becomes highly alert, energized, and deeply focused, gaining a natural single-pointed concentration. Union meditation creates a state of mind that is open, clear, inquisitive, and creative. A state of mind that produces profound insight and understanding into our true nature and the true nature of reality. Okay, to further explain the mechanism of this union, let's revisit a fun childhood exercise. You all probably did this in grade school. I want you all to begin by rubbing your stomach with your right hand in a circular motion. I'll rub my chest so you can see my hands. Right? Now, without stopping that hand, I want you to attempt to pat the top of your head with the other hand simultaneously. You might find initially it might feel a little awkward. For most of us, we need to focus on the circling hand for a certain period of time before engaging in the patting hand. Eventually, they will synchronize and work together. You may discover that one hand needs to first needs to be consciously engaged with kind of programs it into muscle memory, the circular hand, right? Then once it's in muscle memory, it allows our attention to focus on the motion of the other hand. However, to fully harmonize the two motions, you'll find there's a letting go. Do you notice when you're doing it, at a certain point you kind of let go and both hands just do their thing, right? And this involves releasing control and allowing the motions to flow intuitively. This meditation will work in the same way. And I was a piano player before I was a monk, so I can do a lot of different things with both hands, so that's pretty easy for me to do. But it's the same thing in piano. People often wonder how pianists are able to do such different things with different hands. The trick is, one is always programmed into muscle memory. So you focus on one hand, and then the other hand takes a turn. And then it looks like they're doing completely different things, but there's a little trick to it. And in our meditation, it's the same. So let's take this idea and explore it a little bit further in our actual meditation practice. So, like last week, we'll be learning this technique in our meditation. Today, we'll be using the mind itself as our object of contemplation, or more specifically, the arising and dissipating of thoughts. This is often referred to as mindfulness meditation, but it's insight meditation. We'll begin with a few minutes of calm abiding to stabilize our minds, then a few minutes of radiating awareness before turning to our new practice of union meditation. So with that said, let's begin by muting our audio, taking our seats and getting comfortable. Your hands can be placed on your thighs. Close your eyes. Begin to relax while breathing naturally through your nose. Now take a moment to set your intention by reflecting on the importance of your practice. And here we mean reflecting on the importance of developing and gaining control over your awareness. And next, look straight up at the ceiling and take 3 full breaths. When finished, you can lower your gaze. And now, starting at the top of your head, move your awareness down your body, releasing any tensions you might find. Begin at your forehead, softening and relaxing the area. Move down and soften your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth. Relax your jaw, neck, and shoulders. Move down and relax your chest and stomach. Let your arms rest naturally. Relax your hips and legs. And lastly, let go of any tension in your mind and rest comfortably. And now on to our 7-point checklist. Posture, hips, joy, acceptance, equanimity, awareness, and engage. Focus on your breath, switch on and let go. When ready, silently say the word meditating to begin your meditation. As you hold your focused attention on your breath, remain conscious of your peripheral awareness by being subtly aware of your body, senses, and the space around you. We'll do a few minutes of calm abiding now. And now, while remaining in meditation, let's engage in a few minutes of radiating awareness. Begin by bringing your awareness from your head down into your body, creating a felt union of your mind and body at the chest. Begin to expand the feeling, increasing its size. Expanding and intensifying it until it encompasses your whole body. And now begin to incorporate feelings of goodness, compassion, and joy into your feeling of awareness. And now begin to radiate that awareness as if being a shining sun, Relax into the experience, applying a soft and expansive awareness. And for the next few minutes, let's use that feeling of radiating awareness as our object of meditation before beginning our union meditation. And now, while remaining in meditation, let's turn to our new union practice. I want you to continue to engage in your radiating awareness purely as a feeling. And while maintaining the feeling of your radiating awareness, we'll now introduce our object of contemplation to bring in our insight meditation. Today we'll be using the mind itself as our object of contemplation, or more specifically, the arising and dissipating of thoughts. Begin by simply observing your mind while waiting for a thought to arise. When a thought arises, you observe it without interacting with it. You watch it arise, abide for a moment, and then dissipate. You then turn your attention back to your mind and watch for another thought to arise. Imagine your thoughts arising from your mind like steam arising from a pond in the early morning, in which you watch the steam arise, drift up, and dissipate in the air. In this meditation, the challenge is in maintaining the feeling of your radiating awareness, while at the same time turning your attention to your object of insight meditation. And you do this by applying both techniques very softly, relaxing into them, and, if needed, gently oscillating between the two, letting their union arise naturally and intuitively. When your mind wanders away from either the feeling of your radiating awareness or your topic of contemplation, simply bring it back and re-engage. Slowly begin to come back. Take a moment to observe how you feel. How was your experience of union meditation? Did everybody understand the instructions? Mr. Pasang, please.
Yes, seem to have a lot of problems with meditation right now, and I think it's because everything that's going on in my life right now. Any suggestions? I tried to do a lot of calm abiding.
Yeah, because your life is very busy. So that happens to all meditators. And if you notice in our 7-point checklist, the fourth phrase is acceptance. And that's really what it pertains to. Like we've talked about that. Every time we sit down to meditate, our minds are different. Not just our minds, our situation, our day is different. And the fact is, regardless of that, we're sitting down to work with our minds. So we accept the mind in whatever condition it is. I'm like you. Sometimes I sit down, I've been very busy writing. It's really hard to focus. Or maybe I'm in an emotional state because something's happened. And that's kind of dominating my consciousness. And then other times it's the opposite. I sit down and it just seems to be so natural. It just doesn't matter. Regardless of the state of mind, when we sit down to meditate, don't think about a certain level or bar or attainment you're trying to achieve when you sit down to meditate. We sit down to meditate to work with whatever condition the mind is in and to gain some kind of an improvement, hopefully. So even if you're very busy, maybe sitting down with us for a few minutes allows you to be just a little bit calmer than you would have been without it. That's success.
Yeah.
We often say that success in meditation should really be seen as, I made it to the cushion, I'm working with my mind. That's success.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So about this, about the union, were you able to kind of get a little union going on? Remember, this is a very complex and advanced meditation. So clearly, the very first time you sit down, it can be a bit daunting. The hope is by the end of this week, you might start getting a feel for it. So that's the hope. We're really just teaching it to you now, so you get a feel for the whole full range of meditation and practices. David?
Yeah, I think I got well, I did get a feel for it. But I'm not sure that I've got the radiating awareness quite right, because it feels more like I'm radiating the feeling of awareness rather than radiating the awareness itself. So I'm not sure whether I've kind of misstepped there or
I'm not sure there's a difference between the two.
Uh-huh.
Your awareness is the awareness of the feeling of radiating, of awareness. I think they're one and the same. But again, even if, experiment with it through the week
Yeah.
and see what comes up. Any questions you can share on the WhatsApp message board and I'll be sure to answer.
Sure. Will do.
Good.
Thanks. It was great though. Absolutely great.
Do you kind of get that feeling like you're rubbing your tummy and patting your head when you're doing this? It's really that same feeling, isn't it? And then If
Oh
you
yeah,
could-
when it harmonizes, yeah.
yeah, and then at some point, if you can kind of, at some point you can kind of let go, and they just both kind of happen at the same time, and then it's eureka! I got it. But remember, for many meditators, it takes years and years and years to master union meditation. It's a very advanced practice. Hey, very cool. So, do we have any other questions? Any questions about the program in general? Mr. Amalat, did you have a question?
I was wondering, was the body scanning in preparation of us practicing our awareness? And that's because we didn't body scan today, right?
It's true.
I'm wondering how that fits in. Is that part of the calm abiding and the radiating awareness? Is that all together?
This is how SBT uses it. So I had two thoughts. One of them was when teaching insight meditation, I wanted to make sure that everybody learned about Vipassana meditation or body scanning. It's a very, very popular meditation and historic. Vipassana meditators, they'll use that as their only meditation, and they'll take that to the highest levels. Where for us, I use it to strengthen our awareness so I can teach these other meditations of radiating awareness and union meditation. My own experience of Vipassana, I found very limiting. It was a great experience. I did countless retreats through the Vipassana groups, but I did find it very limiting. And to me, radiating awareness and union meditation are vastly more advanced practices. They deliver incredible benefits. So yeah, so we used it for that. It's a great way to really get into the body, to feel the body, to understand these different types of awareness. So that's why we were using it. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
How about everybody's meditation practice in general? We're here at the last class of our introduction to meditation programs we've done. We've been working all spring together. You've been meditating twice a day for the whole time. I'm hoping that everybody has done a pretty good job of keeping up with it. Sometimes we get busy, we understand that, but the goal was to do our best to do twice a day. Have you noticed some improvements in your life? Have you noticed some rewards from this meditations techniques that you've learned? Would you like to share? Yeah, Jose.
My awareness has improved vastly, as has I've been feeling more peaceful and still. So it's helped with all those other things. But I do have a problem when it comes to playing the piano and doing different things with different hands.
I'll have
I'm gonna be one of the people that takes years and years and years to master it. This meditation.
I'm
But
gonna have to offer some online piano classes.
yeah.
You'd be surprised that sometimes it appears that way. Like looking back when I started meditating, and it just seemed like it would be so long before I would get the kind of accomplishments that I was really hoping for. And in hindsight, though it's been 30 years, it does seem like it didn't take that long to get. I mean, I got a lot of the attainments a long time ago. So I think it feels like that, but all of a sudden, sometimes we turn around and we say, hey, I'm kind of getting there. It hasn't been that long. So yeah, be patient. And we're all here to help you. David, would you like to share?
Yeah. I don't want to seem as if always is easy and shining and light and bright, but I've made more progress, certainly in the pleasure and tranquility that I get in meditation in the past few weeks than I have in the previous 13 years. So, you know, I'm enormously grateful, you can imagine.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. You know, for myself, I always say that I think the biggest advantage that I've gotten from meditation, the best result, has been a mental and emotional stability. That through practicing that roller coaster that we're all on, that every day there's so much going on and there's so much turmoil and ups and downs and drama, all of that kind of flattened out for me. And most days I wake up, I go to bed, I'm kind of the same throughout the day. That's one of the things that meditation delivers that a lot of people don't notice, is kind of stability. And it's a wonderful thing. It might sound like, oh, big deal, stability. No, it's absolutely wonderful. It's happiness. It's contentment when you have stability in your life. It's a great contentment. And I just watch everybody else on the roller coaster. It's great fun. Everybody throwing their hands up in the air. Ah, I'm off the roller coaster.
He's joking, by the way.
Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, well, if nobody wants to share, I'm going to go ahead and get to our closing thoughts. This practice of union meditation is an advanced technique and takes time to master. Eventually, with adequate practice, the union of both meditations will begin to arise naturally and spontaneously in a continuous, inseparable union, which is, again, the peak level of all meditation techniques. Its true benefit comes from harnessing the stability of calm abiding and the wisdom of insight meditation. The union of the two unlocks the true power of our insight meditation. At this level of practice, our insight meditation can turn to any object we choose. You can use it to investigate the body or analyze your mental or emotional states. You can contemplate concepts and ideas, unravel the mysteries of reality, or find solutions to everyday challenges. In other words, anything your awareness can apprehend can be investigated, learned about, and meditated upon. So this week, we'll be practicing union meditation. Like usual, you'll begin with calm abiding to stabilize your mind, followed by a few minutes of radiating awareness. And then when comfortable, you can introduce your topic of contemplation to begin union meditation. This week, we'll be using the mind as our object of insight contemplation throughout the week. We have a new practice video for you to use throughout the week. So have fun with your new union meditation and find out how it best works for you. Over the course of this 5-week program, we've learned various types of insight meditation leading to the peak of all meditation techniques, union meditation. We've learned about how these various methods make up our toolbox of meditation techniques, which you're now free to use as you see fit. Most people naturally will gravitate to the practice that fits their current level of development. For some, it might just be going back to just simple calm abiding each day, or maybe it's body scanning or radiating awareness or full union meditation. So for this week we want you to stick with union meditation. We have, I think I mentioned that we have a practice video for you. And although this is our final week of the program, our program isn't over. We will still be practicing together for the rest of this week, sharing, and you can share any questions and experiences on our WhatsApp chat. And our dear Miss Amala will be giving her makeup class this Thursday as well. I encourage you to keep up your twice a day meditation practice, and I hope you'll make it a lifelong habit, recognizing the rewards of meditation, and that they're just limitless. And for those of you who wish to deepen your practice further, I invite you to explore our SBT Novice Level Practice Guide, which you can download from our website. The guide includes daily affirmations and practices that serve as the foundation for daily practice. I hope that everybody feels part of the SBT community now, and you'll continue to learn and grow with us. Our Sunday teachings will continue, focusing on a variety of different topics on study and practice. Our daily online meditations are also going to continue, which are open to everyone. The next program we're going to be offering is our Skillful Living program, which represents the main body of our SBT study curriculum. It begins this month, June 22nd. Skillful Living is a study and practice series founded on the timeless wisdom of the Buddha, a program created for audiences of diverse backgrounds and beliefs. This 6-week program will include topics like how to live a skillful and fruitful life, how to gain control over your mind and emotions, how to cultivate goodness, happiness, and joy, how to work with challenging emotions and mental states, how to live a life of purpose and meaning, and how to awaken to your true nature, your true potential, and your true value. The program, like all of our programs, is free, and all are welcome to attend. You can find out more about this and register for the program on sbtonline.org. In closing, the transformative powers and benefit of meditation are extraordinary. We hope that you will continue your journey of self-discovery and find the peace, contentment, and happiness you seek. I'd like to thank everyone for participating and making this program a great success. It was great fun to share with everyone. I want you to remember that I will still be just a click away for help and support. And please continue to engage with our WhatsApp support groups. Lastly, once again, I'd like to remind everyone that although our programs are free, we do rely on donations to continue our work. So if you've enjoyed the program and you'd like to see them remain available to others, consider making a donation on our website. And for the last time, let's end today's class with our altruistic affirmation. May all be healthy. May all be prosperous. May all be well. May all be present, free of past regret and future worry. May all abide in constant appreciation, which is the source of great joy and contentment. May all realize their true nature and the true nature of reality, which is awakening. Thanks for joining me, friends. I had so much fun. We'll see you tomorrow in our daily meditations. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, dear Tarpa, for your hard work.
You're welcome.